7 new season sires have been retired to stud in New Zealand this season. Kiwi Bred has taken the opportunity to see what's on offer to breeders. They're the new boys on the block, all retired from the racetrack to enjoy their 7th heaven. New Zealand's magnificent 7 of new season sires includes 2 high-class Godolphin racehorses standing at Sims Davison's Mapperley Stud, the High Chaparral Stallion Contributor and authorised Stallion Complacent.
Darley are right behind New Zealand. You know, the deal works for them as well. It's obviously fantastic. You know, they've got a little leg in here in New Zealand at a great farm and with good support from our breeders. So no, it's all round. I think everyone's happy.
Dual Group 1 winner Contributor is standing at $15,000 plus GST, and through his sire High Chaparral has a delightful link to Mapperley Stud.
What a fantastic horse he was for New Zealand. You know, obviously standing at Windsor Park Stud there, and you know, when those 3-year-olds came out, so you think it's a done deal. It was huge, and obviously both, you know, it's a done deal, and so you think to have the Mapperley brand to come off this property, well, it was very fitting to get myself a High Chaparral, son of High Chaparral, and have him stand at Mapperley Stud. So, you know, our mares have crossed so well over him in the past, and so have our clients, and it's just it just made perfect sense. And when the opportunity came up to try and get this horse at Mapperley, you could see how the success we'd had with High Chaparral and how much I wanted him to be here.
Contributor began his career with Ed Dunlop in England, but made an immediate impact with the Darley team on arrival in Australia, winning the Group 3 David Jones Cup before his brilliant Sydney Autumn campaign, which netted 3 straight weight for age wins.
It started with the Apollo Stakes in the Group 2, where he came out and won that well. It was only at 1,400 metres, but you know, against top class field, he actually, you know, he just showed his true class and just actually brained them. He then went on to the Chip in Norden, 1,600 metres, Group 1, great field, and he did the same thing. He then after that went to the Group 1 to the Ranvit, and look, he didn't disappoint again. And to do what he did in that short spell of time, he did the 1,400 metres, he did the 1,600 metre Group 1, he did the 2,000 metre Group 1. With a fields, over those 3 fields, there was 24 Group 1 winners in that field, and he beat them all. And as I said before, that's what earned him, you know, champion Australian Middle Distance Horse of the Year. So it was a fantastic effort. You know, James McDonald got off the horse. Obviously, he rode it, you know, throughout that time, and he said there's no horse superior than this horse at the moment in Australia.
A winner of more than $1.1 million in stakes through 8 wins and 18 starts, and beating 24 Group 1 winners in the process, Contributor boasts an attractive European pedigree and has already turned the heads of New Zealand breeders.
He's so well put together. He's a real athlete. Like I got a real surprise when I went over and inspected him. Obviously, I'd seen him race, but until I saw him in the flesh, like how powerfully built he was, you know. And as a result of that, it was easy to see how he that electric turn of foot. Like he's a wonderful looking horse, and he's got a real presence about him. You know, like he's fantastic. The horse was syndicated. We need Darley stayed in for 50% of them. They've fully supported the horse. They've sent mares over here, which arrived last week. So, you know, that's going to be huge, having sort of 8 or 9 horses running in the Darley colours or Godolphin colours in a few years' time.
Complacent is standing at $5,000 plus GST after Davison negotiated a partnership between Mapperley Stud and Darley. A winner of 5 of his 11 starts, including the Group 1 Spring Champion Stakes at Randwick, Complacent is a striking brown stallion out of a sister to 3-time Group 1 winner Dracula.
Oh, he's got a fantastic pedigree. You know, he's out of a Quest for Fame mare. You know, she's a foal to Dracula, who we all know is, you know, champion 2-year-old over in Australia. You look through it, Wajina. You look through the pedigree in those first 2 dams, and there's plenty of black type runners. You know, like he's obviously owned and bred by Darley. The family's only gone to the top stallions, and they've left runners all the way through it. In fact, we only fitted the first 2 dams in our catalogue when it went out to print. So beautiful family. You know, same cross as Tavistock. Obviously, Monjour, Quest for Fame, and so it's fantastic. You know,
I've seen him parade for us. He's a striking horse, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. You know, he's well put together. He's a lovely looking horse, lovely mover. So as you can see, you know, we're thrilled to have him here. You know, obviously he was a horse as a spring 3-year-old that had everyone's attention. You know, he came out and won his maiden, and then he went straight into the Gloaming Stakes, where he won that Group 3. He was then went into the favourite, into the Spring Championship Stakes, where he won that well, beating Criterion and Savvy Nature and a lot of good horses. And then he obviously went in his favourite for the Derby, and obviously did his tendon there, and unfortunately came second to Criterion.
After a break of nearly 2 years, Complacent returned to the racetrack for wins in the Group 2 Chelmsford Stakes and Group 3 Hill Stakes. Performances that for Davison highlighted his willingness to compete.
He had that determination, and that's something that we all look at in a horse, like he just had that guts and will. I don't think he could have got a more honest horse than that horse there, like he just really dug it in, and the way he came through and he, and won in his races was great. And then even having that big spell out when he came back and bet those top horses in that Group 2 there, well, that just shows sort of what type of horse he was. And I think we all look at, that's sort of one of the key attributes when looking for a stallion. We want those, hard-nosed, determined, that those horses are not going to give up, and he ticked all those boxes.
Another sire who seemingly ticked all the boxes was Cavallo, the son of champion sire Choisier, who's retired to Chequers Stud this season.
Chequers Stud's had a great run over going back to Dad, the last 40, 50 years on stallions and that, and he ticks the boxes. We don't get many, every 4 or 5 years we get a stallion, and he's ticked all the boxes, and we're very confident that he'll do it at the stud.
Mark, just tell us about him physically.
He's an outstanding individual. He stands at 16 hands, he's correct, very powerful and muscular horse. Like Peter said, the biggest problem he had was getting the condition off him. For us, we want a stallion that's got a great temperament, that leads correct legs, good size, and they'll get out and run. And if he leads them like he does, like himself, he'll definitely do that, but very correct and powerful.
Trained in Melbourne by Peter Moody, Cavallo was a record-breaking juvenile who showed a tremendous turn of foot on the racetrack.
Peter Moody said he just unbelievable temperament. Before he went and looked at him, he said unbelievable temperament, fantastic turn of foot and speed. And he went out in October and won his first trial by 4 lengths, and Peter sort of said, I'm going to set him for the slipper. Spelled him, brought him back in, when his first start at Sandown. He came home in 31.5, won by 4 lengths, and Peter and Tony Santa paid the late entry fee for the slipper. Unfortunately, he didn't get a run in the slipper. He came back as a 3-year-old and won impressively at Flemington, and he was stakes place and group placed. He's a 3-quarter brother to Star Spangled Banner, who's champion sprinting stallion and really starting to do it well at stud now. Out of Mapperley Gold Chan, who was a stakes place 5-time win mare who left a horse called Amicus, who last year won the Caulfield Guineas. And then the family going back to Circles of Gold, and just with the speed that we sort of thought he'd suit our mares in New Zealand.
Popular with breeders, Cavallo will stand his first season at stud for a fee of $3,000 plus GST, and Chequers Stud have added an incentive by paying the entry fee of any filly offspring in the Pearl Bonus Series.
$3,000, and if you get the filly, we'll pay for the Pearl Series. We set him at a price that we sort of felt that we wanted to give him the best opportunity. And we're a bit slack when it comes to the advertising and that, and he's got very good support.
Grangewilliam added another sire to their roster when the Bold One was retired from the racetrack. A son of champion sire Fastnet Rock, his dam is the dual Group 1 winner, the Duel. The Bold One raced with the reputation of a Group 1 performer in the making, but with his career cut short, he didn't quite reach the highs predicted by trainer Alan Sharrock. Bred by the Dennis brothers, the Bold One will stand for a service fee this season of $2,000 plus GST. Yes, breeders have a good opportunity to breed to a quality lineup of new season sires this season. It's now time for this week's Pedigree of the Week. It's the daughter of the former Windsor Park Stud Shuttle Stallion Master Craftsman, the Group 1 winner Valley Girl.
The early retirement of Group 1 winning race mare Valley Girl will give Cambridge's Hawkins family the opportunity to combine 2 of their best bloodlines. Prepared by Ruakaka's Donna Logan and Chris Gibbs, Valley Girl revealed her true class when she downed Stolen Dance and Kiwi at just her 6th start to win the Weight for Age Group 1 Herbie Dyke Stakes at Te Rapa. She went on to finish 2nd in the Group 1 Vinery Stud Stakes in Sydney and returned with a first-up win as a 4-year-old at Ruakaka to claim early favouritism for the Group 1 McPhee Challenge Stakes at Hastings. She finished last in the McPhee, but was later found to have a stress fracture in her foreleg, which forced her premature retirement. The Hawkins Wentwood Grange bought Valley Girl's Grand Dam East End for $35,000 at Karaka in 2001 in foal to Bianconi. The resulting foal was Lee Valley, whose 5 wins included the Group 3 Cuddle Stakes at Trentham. Valley Girl was Lee Valley's fifth foal, the result of a mating with then Windsor Park stud shuttle stallion Master Craftsman. Valley Girl, who hails from the same family as Group 1 Queensland Oaks winner Round the World, will now head to stud herself, with her first mating, Doncaster Handicap and George Bain Stakes winning Darley stallion Kermadec. It's a dream mating for the Hawkins family, who bred Teofilo stallion Kermadec from their stakes-winning mare High Fuji. While the Hawkins family admits there's much sentiment in choosing Kermadec as Valley Girl's first mate, they say the match is also strong genetically and physically. Through the Group 1 exploits of Kermadec and Valley Girl, the Hawkins family were named finalists for Breeder of the Year at last year's New Zealand Thoroughbred Racing Awards. Lee Valley hasn't produced a foal for the last 3 seasons, but has been served by Cambridge stud stallion Tavistock this spring. Valley Girl is inbred 4x3 to Danzig and boasts 5 strains of his sire Northern Dancer in his first 7 removes.
Well, that brings to an end another show. Join us next week when we're at Richhill Stud to visit Pentire, a stallion still kicking goals even in the twilight of his career. We speak to Sean Kiernan about the breeding of New Zealand Oaks winner Fanatic and head to Palmerston North's Wellfield to check out the last of our new season sires, Group 1 juvenile winner Vespa. Plenty to look forward to next week on Kiwi Bred. See you all then.